We're doing a home brew of dark ale. And what you need is a can of this stuff, which you buy from somewhere like Tesco's. Plus, you need the special sugar. This is a special sugar, so I'll show you what it looks like. Like that. It's not quite white, special sugar. And then yeast, that's a packet of yeast, we'll come on to that. So those are the ingredients, all we need plus water. I'm going to put all of this in here, mix it all up, and then this is the fermenting vat. That's where it bubbles away for about a week. So we'll come back and see how that goes in a shortly. Okay?
Ready for now? Oh.
Right, so now we're going to put the dark ale into this big, I don't know what it's called, a big kind of witch's cauldron. Now I've washed that, look, here it comes out. See how kind of gooey it is. If we've tasted it, it tastes sweet at first, and then when you actually taste it, it's kind of bitter. It'd be nice in a kind of Christmas pudding or something. So it's because it's so gooey, this is boiling water I'm adding. And this is to sort of make it much more liquidy. Here we are. I'm going to put some boiling water in there to kind of get all of the goodness out. Okay. Okay, so now we've got the molasses, I think it's called, from the can with hot water. This is too hot to put my finger in. And now I'm going to put the sugar in, and I'm putting it in gradually. Oh god, so because otherwise it sort of clumps. I don't want it to clump. Last time I did this, it got a nasty, like a stick of rock in the bottom. Anyway, I'm hoping we can do it without it clumping too much.
Perhaps you have a whisk next time.
Oh, a whisk, that's a good idea. So this is all going to need to be mixed with more water and cooled down at the moment, because beer brews at kind of room temperature. So this is just for the mixing. It smells lovely, smells like a brewery actually, doesn't it? There's no yeast in there yet.
Oh yeah, it smells delicious. Christmas pudding.
If this were a proper brewery, this would be called a mash tun. The yeast would die at the moment, it's too hot for the yeast. The yeast is still in that packet over there. Here we are, I'll stick it all in. This is dextrose or maltose or something of those. And it makes the beer have a nice frothy head. Oh, it's kind of clumping a bit, isn't it?
Right.
Okay. Okay. We're now in the main brewery room, the brewing room, as you can see. All of my brewing equipment's up here. This is the mash tun, right? I want to see how clear and empty that is, and that's been sterilised. If you smell it, it's got a slight smell of chlorine, because that's what sterilisation is all about. So here's our mixture of sugar or maltose and that black molasses stuff, and that's quite warm. It's just kind of like bath temperatures, so it's very hot at the moment. So we're going to put it in here. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Right, we'll get a little bit of water here. We'll get all the goodness. Pour it in. Now, what we're going to do is fill it up with cold water. This tap is very important, that'll come in much later. Now this is a thermometer here that doesn't work, so we're going to use this thermometer to find out the temperature. You need to get it down to about 20 degrees, I can't quite remember, I think it's 22, sort of room temperature, warm room temperature. So we'll let that fill and we'll come back to see how we get on at the end. Right, we're measuring the temperature. You see it's 23.6 at the moment. It's a little bit high. So I've cunningly got some ice. I just want to bring the temperature down a little bit. I'm popping the ice in just to bring the temperature down a bit. And we'll let that melt and see how the new temperature fits. Right, so the ice has gone in there to cool it down a bit. Let's put everything we had. And then, so I'm now measuring the temperature. And it's, let's see, 22.4, 22.7, ooh, 23. 23, it's a bit high, but that's all the ice I've got. So we're going to have to make do with 23. Today, the air temperature, I would say, is about 20, so it will cool down. Actually, in England, it probably won't be that warm, so you'll probably be all right. The other thing I've got, so we're going to say that's all right, even though it's 23. That is a little heater that you put underneath. Very carefully. So at night, if we get a cold night, it sits on there, and that will warm it up at night to keep it stop it getting too cool. So we're on its blanket. I'm not going to put the blanket on because I don't want it any hotter right now. I'm just going to keep that there. Right, let's see, that's neat. Right, next, what have I done? All right, this is the magic. Where have I put my...
Yeast on the floor.
On the floor, yes, it's sterile down there as well. So this is the brewing yeast. Don't use normal bread yeast. You can use bread yeast, but it doesn't taste so good. Bread yeast just makes bubbles. Brewing yeast makes bubbles and alcohol. And so that's what it looks like. It looks like a brown powder. Not much of it. So that's going to go in, and it's going to multiply and make lots of babies. And that's what makes all of the lovely alcohol in there. So some recipes, you just leave it on the top. You're not supposed to mix it in. But there's all that froth. So I am mixing this. So that's now going. That's it, up and running. Now the trick is that nothing nasty gets in there. So we've got the special lid with a seal that we're gonna put on. And we need gas to be able to escape, because as it brews, it bubbles. And if that was sealed completely tight, it would explode. So you want gas to get out but not in. And for that, we have this special, I'll show you, thing. You fill it with water, and that goes in there. And that means air can get, or CO2 gets out, but it can't get back in. It's a seal. I've made this washer because I lost my washer, and that goes in there. I haven't tried this before, probably won't work, but anyway, we'll see. Oh, not too bad. Oh, maybe it is too bad. Right, I'll have to fiddle around with that off camera. But the idea is that's airtight.
Okay.
So this is it. We now have to wait about a week. Here we've got our heating pad. There's our brewing vessel filled up to this line here. We've got the lid on with a seal, and that's that little thing that lets the carbon dioxide out, but doesn't let air in. And it should start bubbling in a couple of hours' time and bubble for a few days. And then after a week, we can bottle it. Where are all my bottles? So we're going to use plastic bottles like this one. There's a plastic bottle, but they need to be washed and sterilised, which is a pain in the bum to do, but you've got to do that, otherwise it all goes gammy. Okay, that's part 1 done, which is how to set up the main brewing. Part 2 is the bottling.